Nick, you have the Telegraph, very fetching picture of Rupert Everett there, but the lockdown damage to workforce is permanent, which is the main story.
I know. Who'd have thought just turning the economy off, you can't just turn it back on again like Windows 95. Yeah, we've broken it, and in ways that we don't understand is basically what's happened. I was against lockdowns, but that's cold comfort, really, because the Bank of England is saying that we'll face permanent stagnation. The workforce will shrink permanently in the wake of the lockdown. And
that's because they're old, right? So they're shrinking. Is that
there's that as well?
Yeah.
There's part of it because we've got increased detachment from the workforce. There's people that left work and Jeremy Hunt desperately wants to get back into work who retired early. We've got the baby boomers retiring anyway naturally, and so they were talking about potential supply growth, which determines how much the economy can grow before it starts to overheat. They were saying it was going to be 2.5%. Now it's going to be 0.7% over the next couple of years. So we're facing permanent stagnation. Ian Duncan-Smith has said, I don't think the bank understands what's happening in the labour market. And I don't think anyone understands because, as they kept saying at the time, this is unprecedented. Yeah. Well, maybe the virus was, but certainly the lockdown was unprecedented and obviously a disaster.
And a lot of interacting forces, among them, some that I think are arguably not necessarily disastrous. If people are taking early retirement or deciding they don't want to go back to the full throttle work that they were committed to previously, that might be a rebalancing that is what, to be honest, people were anticipating 100 years ago when we had automation and technology to do the hard work for us. We were supposed to take it easy, and instead we've kind of kept pace with it.
But I think the idea is that they're taking more money out of the economy than putting into it because they're not paying taxes anymore and they're getting their pensions.
Yeah.
So that is part of the issue. And
they won't be able to get their pensions until they're 65, though. They can't just... they can take their pension from investments that they've made, but they're not getting state pensions. I do think there might be an interesting opportunity here for them to say that there could be a kind of grey area when you're approaching retirement and maybe considering that maybe life, is worth living a little bit instead of having your foot to the pedal to the metal the whole time. There might be some tax breaks and so on for people in their 60s to encourage them to stay in the workforce rather than to, as you say, remove themselves entirely.
It seems like you thought about this more.
Well, it's
multiple
quite
factors.
tempting to me to stay in for another 3 years.
But you're also coming after a lockdown where printing money and inflation. It's multiple factors at once, isn't it, which is the issue.
Absolutely. And I think also, you only have to walk around London to realise things have just not returned to normal by any means. Tubes are still empty. That seems to be a fairly strong signal to me. It's extraordinary. You get on the tube at Stockwell at 9:30, I had the carriage to myself. Bizarre.
I get all taxis now, but enjoy it.